Welcome to Pocket Risk Manager, the simple and intuitive software system for performing actuarially valid casualty loss forecasting and reserve analyses. For best viewing results, please click on the open and close brackets icon at the lower right part of the video. This will allow you to see the video in full screen, which will greatly assist for following along. Pocket Risk Manager software and technical support are free for qualified users. To learn how to obtain your copy of the software, please refer to our website for contact information. By utilizing Pocket Risk Manager, risk management organizations and their brokers and consultants will be able to improve insurance marketing dynamics to lower insurance costs and collateral requirements, become your own lead underwriter on the presented risks, and design and implement the most cost-effective program risk financing alternative. Now let's see a quick introduction to the software. For a more detailed look, please call us for a personalized demo. You are looking at the default setup screen, which loads when you launch the PRM icon. This screen asks you to select or fill in basic information beginning with your company name. An example has already been set up, and I will highlight some of the most important selection criteria. For coverage, choose the appropriate casualty coverage that you're working with. Type of analysis. For forecast methodology, you have the ability to choose one or more different methods. Large loss data, if it's available. Frequency data. For legal or allocated loss adjustment expenses, you have the option to choose if they are inside or outside of the retention limits per some general liability policies. Moving to the right side of the screen, you have discontinued operations and need those accounted for, say yes. Loss dollar labeling, choose the exposure type. Exposure labeling. Remaining selection entries are comprised of loss development and inflation rate data. Pocket Risk Manager allows you to use built-in loss development and inflation factors, use your factors calculated from loss triangle data, or mix and match built-in and custom schedules. As an example, on the incurred loss factors, you can see different built-in schedules, or you can choose to manually input your own factors that you've calculated, which they would go here. But for purposes of this particular example, we're just going to stick with the built-in loss development schedules. You finish the setup screen by entering appropriate policy or data and clicking the forecast year. Before we move on to the next screen, notice that you have a help button at the top of the screen. The help button takes you to a detailed write-up on how to fill out a particular screen. And the next button takes you to where you need to go next to complete your analysis. Here we've moved to the input screen for summary policy data, whereby example summary loss and exposure data has already been entered for you. The black areas correspond to areas that you don't need to fill out per what you've told the system. We'll click on Next, and we'll move to the final data entry screen, which is the large loss listing. In this screen, we input detail for individual claims above a specified threshold, which you determine according to need and availability of large loss data. With this screen complete and all of our data entry now complete, we'll now begin the forecasting process by clicking on Next. And here we only need to make some very simple inclusion versus exclusion decisions. Notice the light blue column or in the ultimate loss per exposure. We'll make some decisions about what should be excluded from the forecast. And our forecast is complete. With just a bit of practice, you will instinctively understand which policy years to exclude and which to keep in the forecast calculation. We can view some graphs. And finally, we'll click on the Reserve Analysis button on the menu bar, which takes us to our automatically completed reserve analysis, which shows discounted and total remaining liabilities on a per year and total basis. This concludes our introduction tutorial. Thank you for your interest in Pocket Risk Manager.